As I said on the very top of the program, I wanted to start the show one way and I wanted to end the show one way because a lot of people say that it all kind of stops and starts in fighting with the heavyweight champion of the world. And in our particular world, this pie can be sliced in multiple different directions. Of course, because Francis Ngannou left the UFC and never lost that belt and went to box for a couple of fights, he is still considered by many, including myself, as the lineal heavyweight champion of the world. He returns to action on Saturday. On the UFC side of things, of course, Jon Jones fought for the vacant title against Ariel Helwani. He beat Ariel Helwani in March of 2023, and he has not fought since. He hopefully returns to action in a little over a month's time right here in New York City against Stipe Miocic. In the midst of that period, a man has emerged, and he has had his own ups and downs, but now has returned in full force to become the interim heavyweight champion officially, but in my eyes, the real heavyweight champion. And the last time we did a show, it was right before his return to the cage. The last time we did a show, it was right before his big showdown back home in England, the card being built around him and Leon Edwards, the rematch of the fight that ended very, very quickly and unceremoniously, the rematch against Curtis Blades. He blew right through the competition unscathed, and now we await his next assignment. Obviously, we hear that he's going to be the backup fighter, but we all want to see the showdown come 2025. You know that we had to end today's program with the pride of the United Kingdom, the pride of Great Britain, the pride of England, the pride of Manchester, the pride of Wigan himself. Tommy Aspinall is back. Our good mate, Tom, who did in fact text me a week or so after the fight saying, "Where's the interview? Where's the chat?" You felt empty, did you not? You felt like something was missing in the victory tour. You needed the chat. Here we are 3 months later. Welcome back to the program, Tom.
3 months I've been waiting to come on this thing. I mean, everybody's life is empty without you, Ariel. Let's be honest. But here we are. I'm not complaining. You got the new show and everything. Congratulations. How's it gone? How's the first show?
It's been amazing. Everyone came with bells on. You were the only one, by the way, in the booking of the show said you needed to see the full lineup before you agreed to join, right? You wanted to know if it was up to your standards. You've changed a little bit since becoming the real heavyweight champion, yes?
Everything changes. If there's one thing you can guarantee in this life, Ariel, it's change.
That is true.
And, yeah, I wanted to know. I wanted to know who else was on. That's all. I'm an MMA fan too, just like everybody else. So I just wanted to know if it was going to be a good show or not.
It's been a great show, and it's great to end with you. And by the way, what about this shirt here? Is this new merch? I like this shirt.
This is new merch.
I like it.
This is new merch. You can find this on dosbrak.com.
Oh, you're working with Dosbrak? I love him.
I'm working with Dosbrak. Look, it's even got my face on the. It's even got my biceps on the t-shirt. Look at that.
It's fantastic. Dosbrak, I didn't know he made stuff like that. His drawings are incredible.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, so I've got quite a few designs over there. If you want to go and check it out, Ariel. I supported you with the t-shirt. I don't see it being reciprocated.
I mean, I thought it would be a nice touch. You wearing the shirt. The first guy to wear the shirt on the show. I thought it would be a nice touch.
I've got it just over there.
No, listen, I want you to support your stuff. I'm seeing a photo right now of you and your old man, Mr. Aspinall, there rocking the shirts with Dosbrak. You know who's probably foaming at the mouth looking at this shirt is our guy, your biggest fan, Connor, back there. He goes through great lengths to get your merch here to
Actually,
us.
I already ordered one.
He already ordered one, he just said.
He's already ordered one.
Yes.
Go on, Connor. We love it. We absolutely love it. But yeah, there's quite a few different designs on there. Some nice stuff. I also paid homage to see. So is that on screen right now?
Yeah, this is on screen. Look at us.
The one bottom in the middle that is paying homage to the greatest rock band of all time, Oasis. And I actually sent one to Noel Gallagher last week, who is obviously one of the lead singers of Oasis. So
wow,
good stuff. Good stuff.
Wait a second. Are you going to the reunion? Are you going to any of the shows?
Oh, come on. Is water wet? It's like asking that. Ariel, of course.
Wow.
Of course I'm going.
What, you're good mates with Noel Gallagher?
Me and Noel, we're like that these days.
Wow. How did that happen?
Well, he's a UFC fan. His son's a UFC fan. obviously two Manchester guys. My son is now my son's a big Manchester City guy.
Ah,
So and Noel actually does stuff with City as well. Like he's been involved with Man City for the longest time. So yeah, we know each other through that.
who's the one that played at Wembley when I was there for AJ? Noel or Liam?
That was Liam. That was Liam.
How do you feel about Liam?
Well, I like both, obviously. Yeah, I like Oasis and getting back together. So everyone's happy, like in Manchester, in the UK, but in Manchester especially. Like this is a massive, massive deal.
Which one are you going to? Which show?
Well, I can't be telling people that.
Oh, geez. All right. Are you going to be on the
No, I'm
stage?
joking. They've got so I think they're doing two different places in the UK. They're doing Heaton Park, which is in Manchester, and I think they're doing Hyde Park in London, or it
Wow.
might be somewhere else in London. But I'm going to the Manchester one.
By the way, there have been times where I've WhatsApped you like, "Oh my gosh, did you see that goal from Phil Foden from Erling Haaland?" You have proudly told me not only do you not care, you don't even know who these people are. Now you're telling me your son is a Man City fan. Does that mean he has finally converted you?
Listen, Ariel, as I said at the beginning of the interview, there's one thing you can guarantee in this life: it's change. And listen, I've never been into football all my life. Like I'm from a massive, massive football community, football area. Everybody who I know, who I knew growing up, is into football in some respect, and I've never been into it. Now, at the tender age of 31, I have I've jumped ship. I'm in. Like
Wow.
I've been to it. I've been to a City game now. My son actually met all the players.
Wow.
It was great. He met Haaland. He met Phil Foden. He met De Bruyne. He met everybody.
Wow.
I actually didn't. I actually didn't meet anybody, but he did.
Where were you?
That was good. So Manchester's torn in half when it comes to um, football. Obviously, Reds and Blues. And my area, most people from my area actually support United. But if the kid's supporting City,
Of course.
I ain't gonna. I've got to be with him. If I don't support anybody, the kid's supporting City. I'm a City guy.
So where were you when you met these players?
So basically, they give them like a full experience. So I think the game kicked off at like 4 or 5 p.m. and they had the kids there from like 1. So we had to take the kids, and then we had like a dinner and stuff, and they take the kids like for a full day of like going in the changing rooms, meeting the players.
Wow.
They like mascots. They go on the pitch with the players. They meet the managers, the other team, everything. It was fantastic. It was amazing.
That's incredible. Well, I'm glad to see that you have jumped on the football bandwagon. It's a pretty popular sport, I hear, over in England. So it's nice to see. And you mentioned change, by the way, a couple times already. I can't help but notice. Correct me if I'm wrong. Are the chompers a little bit different? Have those changed too? What's
We also new jumpers. Look, I got close up on that.
what is going on? What's happening?
Bad light in this place, but yeah, the new Nashers, mate. New Nashers are in.
Look at you. You got the Darren Till, huh?
Isn't it? You put a picture of my teeth on the thing. That was uncalled for. I mean,
What?
yeah, I mean, there's a lot of people. There's
That's
a
an
lot of people
incredible difference, by the way. Dr.
I
James
think
over
it is.
there.
You know what? I never thought my teeth were that bad until I got them done, and I'm like, oh, my other teeth are quite shit. But now I'm happy with them. You know what I mean? I'm only a few days in. I've only just got them.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm happy with them. Big shout out to James, the dentist, fantastic guy, and yeah, I think I like him. I like him.
Any change? Like, can you not eat certain things? Is it painful? It sounds painful getting those.
No, honestly, it's been really good. I was actually under the, what do you call it? You're not under the knife, under the. I don't
Anesthesia.
want to. No, 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 no. I was awake. I was
No.
awake. But like I was in the dentist chair. Is what I'm trying to say. I was in the dentist chair for 7 hours, 8 hours.
No way.
Yeah, it was a long day because I got my full top and full bottom done,
Oof.
both of them. But yeah, it was worth it. Like it was a great. I feel good. I feel good. I feel like I can smile, and no one's going to be looking at my ugly teeth.
You look fantastic. You look,
Thank you.
I even think your facial hair changed a little bit. No, I mean, did you shave this part?
Yeah, sometimes I go a bit shorter with the satch a little bit.
Nah, you look great. You're glowing right now. You're absolutely
Like,
glowing. It might be all the petrol that you've been dipping your hands into.
listen, it worked. I knocked a heavyweight out with a jab, near enough.
Incredible.
Did it work or not?
It did. I remember being in
Well,
Paris when you called me in the middle of the night. I was trying to get my sleep, and there's you and your dad showing me and proving that you actually got it done, that you're a man of
yeah,
your word.
it worked. It worked, mate. It worked.
Is that your house, by the way? It looks incredible. Is that a compound or
No,
what? No,
that's not
oh,
my
it's
house. That's a hotel. That was
okay.
a hotel. Beautiful hotel as well. Very nice hotel.
Could I ask? I know there's a lot has happened since, but just because we didn't get a chance to talk, what were the nerves like? You're fighting in the middle of the night. You're fighting this guy that it went all wrong just a couple of years prior. How are you feeling? Obviously, it went great, but like just in the build up that night, how did it go?
Yeah, well, the whole at the time, obviously, you've got to push this all to the side. Um, Being like a high level athlete, like top of the food chain level athlete, all the negative stuff that happens, you've got to kind of get rid of that to a degree. But fighting at like 5:30 a.m. is not something that I'd like to do again if I can help it. Um, because I just messed the sleep thing up massively. I just messed it up big time. Like I was awake for nearly 24 hours by the time I fought.
Wow.
So that was hard to contend with. And just the occasion for me was massive. Like for people looking in, it was probably just like, yeah, another fight. But to actually like have been and watched every UFC in Manchester and then to defend a title there against a guy who has technically already beat me in front of 25,000 home fans at 5:30 a.m. It was a lot. It was a lot. And to answer the question, the nerves were extremely high.
Wow. GSP-esque? Were you throwing up back there? Like your guy, like your idol? He's told me many times he's thrown up in the locker room.
I wasn't throwing up, but I wasn't far away.
Okay.
But every I used to think, right. I used to always watch like when I would be like way before the UFC, even before I was like fighting professionally. I used to watch these guys fighting in the UFC and be like, oh, I'd love to be there because when them guys are fighting, obviously they're not suffering any nerves or they're not scared or anything like that. And then I realized like the more success you have, the more scary it gets every time. Like this thing's tough, man. There's so much weighing on you every single time. There's so much at stake that yeah, it doesn't get any easier. But that being said, not everybody can do it. And I'm one of the I wouldn't say I'm one of the lucky few because I don't think luck's involved, but I'm one of the few people uh, who makes really, really good decisions under massive, massive pressure. Like I've seen many guys, even like guys fighting on the contender series and stuff, and on the local scene and in the gyms and whatnot, they are absolute world beaters. Like they can't be beaten, and then they get the pressure of not even fighting in the UFC, getting the chance to fight in the UFC, and they just completely crumble. So to do it at the top level, fighting for a UFC title in your hometown, that is a pressure that it can't even be described in words, to be honest with you. So I am definitely one of the few that can deal with it really well.
MSG Pavlovich was incredible the moment with your dad, but is it possible, given the history and given where you were, that July, the aftermath felt greater when you won that fight?
Um, that's a tough question, really, because the Pavlovich fight there was just a disaster, in all honesty. So usually I'm like, well, it's heavyweight MMA, first of all. So you never really, really know what's going to happen. But usually I think I've got a good, strong chance of winning. I'm like 80-20 that I'm going to win probably every time. But you never know. It's heavyweight MMA, small gloves, massive guys. You never know what's going to happen, really. But I'm usually pretty confident that, look, I'm better than this guy. And when I fought Pavlovich, I definitely was confident that I was better than him. I definitely had a lot of ways to win, and I knew it. But I was ridiculously underprepared for that fight. So um, I don't know. That was kind of like I did expect to win, but I didn't expect to win like that so quickly. So to answer the question, I don't really know. They're
Oh.
both kind of the same, and then the pressure of the Blades thing, fighting at home, defending a title, especially an interim title, is kind of a weird thing that people were saying that I shouldn't do. So yeah, but they're both similar, to be honest with you.
I'm not I promise I'm not trying to take anything away from Bilal. He won that fight fair and square. He looked great. I will forever believe that Leon lost that fight in part because he was fighting at 5:30 in the morning. It was okay for you. You won, but I don't know. I have doubts that the fight goes the same way if it's happening at 1 a.m. or 12:30 as you usually fight. Do you think there's anything to that based on what you saw, based on maybe what you spoke to him about afterwards?
It's very difficult to say, and I think that you, as a media person, and other people in the media would struggle to get that out of him because he doesn't want to make them kind of excuses, and I understand that. Um, but I guess you'd have to speak to him off the record to find out what really went on. But in my opinion, Bilal Muhammad fought absolutely out of his skin in that fight. He looked incredible. I've never seen him fight anywhere near that before. Granted, I've not studied his career at huge length and huge detail, but yeah, Leon looked a little bit off, and Bilal was a little bit on. Like, I would never look at anybody and be like, look, that happened just because of time, because that's unfair to the guy that won. But I think it's fair to say that Leon didn't look himself. But on the flip side of that, Bilal Muhammad looked incredible. So I ain't taking nothing away from him.
That can't happen again, though, right? These 5:30 in the morning cards.
I fucking hope not. I see.
It's not fair to you
I
guys.
kept telling myself, like, and I think about this a lot when I've got a fight coming up. If I could put myself 10 years ago where I am now, like, I would do anything to be where I am now. Anything that you can even think of. So, me complaining about like a time difference or an injury or something being inconvenient, like, I try not to let that weigh on my mind too much when it comes to fighting. Like, yeah, it was shit. Yeah, it was inconvenient. But as I said in the build up, I've got friends literally still to this day who are getting up and working at 5 a.m. every day,
Hmm.
every single frigging day, and they don't even like the job. And they're getting up in the cold. They're going on a building site. They're going messing around underneath cars. They're going working in a factory, making money for other people. And I do not have the right to complain about getting up and fighting at 5 a.m. once. Like, I just don't have any right to do it.
That's fair, and much respect. I would say you're just a high level athlete who deserves a little bit better, but I totally understand where you are coming from, and it's nice to see. Like, even yesterday, you were telling me, I hope you like, you said Monday's your favorite day of the week, and I said to you, you don't usually hear that, but this is just your perspective on life. And actually, I saw a clip. I'm sure you may have seen it or not. It was circulating around the time that you fought, like a young Tom Aspinall talking about that he was going to go to boxing because he felt like boxing was I think it was an interview with IFL TV. Do you know this clip of you in the
Yeah,
gym?
I do. I do.
I'd
Yeah,
never seen
with
this.
Tommy Fury. Go
Yeah.
with Tommy Fury. Yeah.
So why? Where did because in that clip you're like, I'm going to go to boxing. I'm going to have a career there. I'm going to make more money there. How did you then come back?
Um, well, it's quite a long story.
Oh, okay. Because
I'll try and put it down for you. So basically, I was like, I'd done MMA and grappling for like most of my life since I was like 8 years old, really. And then I was struggling to. So basically, I was going sparring with like Tyson Fury, Huey Fury, Tommy Fury, like the Fury family.
yeah.
There's loads of boxers in the Fury family who are big guys. So I would go down there for a bit of sparring, and I kept having like fights pull out on me, shows cancelled, and etc. etc. So as I was down there, the coach, who's still one of my coaches to this day, Peter Fury, he said, "Why don't you just do boxing for a little bit, get some money?" So I was like, "Yeah, okay, we'll do." So I got the boxing license, and anyway, after quite a while boxing, even though I only had one fight, I was doing a lot of sparring. It took me a while to get a license, and I was boxing probably all in all about 18 months, 2 years. I just decided, like, shit, I've been grappling for all this time, and I'm just letting it go to waste. And I didn't really, in all honesty, I didn't really love boxing like I love MMA. Like, I absolutely love MMA. Like you said, Monday is my favorite day of the week because I get to drop my kids off at school and go and train. And then I get to come back, chill for a little bit, and then I'll go and train again. And that's just what I love doing. I just absolutely live for making myself a better MMA fighter. I love it. Like, my whole life and circle is surrounded by me being the best version and the best MMA fighter that I can possibly be. And with boxing, it wasn't really like that. I was more just like doing it for kind of something to do and to get as much money as I can rather than getting a normal job. So I believe that MMA is the place that I should have always been.
And it's all coming together, and it's all culminating. And so, can you tell us officially, are you in fact the backup fighter for the title fight at MSG on November 16th? Are you training for this? Will you be here in New York? Have you agreed to this?
Yes, it is official. I mean, Dana announced it a while ago now, but I didn't actually hear anything from the UFC. But now that is a good UFC moves. But now we've actually spoke. Everything's going good. We've come to an agreement about it. We know what's happening going forward. We've got plans. We've got future fight plans. Everything is right there.
Wow.
It's going to be a good couple of years, let me tell you.
Okay, so what do you got? What are the plans? Tell us.
Big plans. Big, massive plans.
Okay, what do we got? Lay it out.
I can't lay out.
Tommy, come on. You've changed. Old Tommy would have told us.
I would if I could. I would if I could.
I know. But is it all coming? Is it? Can you tell me this? Are you happy with what has been laid out in front of you? Because you don't have to be a rocket scientist. And Dana has said it himself. Fight happens November 16th. You're the backup fighter, and he wants the winner to fight you. This is what he has said, and it's right there. There's no other option. Is this what you're hearing as well?
That's what's happening.
Great.
That's what's happening. And we got other options in place too.
Ooh.
In case, one guy wants to retire, one guy wants to continue, both guys want to retire, whatever. We've got all bases covered, luckily.
If both guys retire, are you then the champion? Obviously, right?
We'll find out, Ariel. It's all to be revealed. Okay. It's all to be revealed.
Okay. Obviously, I would imagine, knowing you being the competitor that you are, you want to fight the winner. You want to make this right. You want to rightfully become. Do you think there's a greater chance one guy wins and he fights you as opposed to guy wins and doesn't fight you, and then you're then gifted the belt like Robert Whittaker was after GSP retired?
I think that's probably most likely, yeah.
You think that's what happens?
I think that's most likely. But I don't know. Who knows? Maybe one of the guys is going to come out, look absolutely fantastic, and think, yeah, I'm going to shut this guy up now. Everyone thinks I'm going to lose to Aspinall. I've got to shut him up. Maybe they're going to have a big ego thing, or maybe they're just going to take the money, take what they've done, and just retire. Who knows, man? We have no idea. Me, the UFC, the fans, nobody's got any idea, which is fantastic. That's great. Like, let's get this thing done. Let's get it sewn up, and let's get this division moving and put some big fights on.
Would you be disappointed if it goes down that way? You don't get to fight the winner, and you're just the undisputed champion because that guy walked away.
I would like to fight one of them, of course, but I don't get emotionally attached to business, really. Like, there's stuff that I would rather happen, of course, but I try and emotionally detach myself from business as much as I can. And to me, fighting is the way I make my living. Fighting is the way I feed my family, and I don't think you can get emotional to that. Like, there's some things I prefer than others, yeah, but at the end of the day, I'm here to be the best in the world. I'm here to fight everybody and anybody that they want me to, and I will continue to do that.
Who do you think is going to win, and who do you want to win? Oh, can you hear me?
Hello?
Yes.
Also, where's the audio gone? What's going on?
Do you not hear me? Hello? Frank, we good? Oh, did we lose him? Is my audio still there?
Yes, it is.
All right. I'm not sure what happened there. We were flowing. We almost had a whole show with no technical difficulties that I know of, at least. Is everything okay, Frank?
Yeah, we're just going to get him right back. 1 second.
All right. So you think that was on him?
No. No one's going to tell him that.
All right, just a few more minutes left with Tommy Aspinall. Everyone enjoying the new era? Let us know in the chat. Can we get a thumbs up if you're enjoying the new era? And again, we're back tomorrow, and we're back on Wednesday. Give us a thumbs up in the chat. You know, my screen is too bright. My screen is too bright.
Yeah,
I see.
I got you.
Oh,
I got you.
you there? You hear me, Tom?
I've got you.
Oh,
Sorry,
weird.
I don't know what happened then. It just went off.
Weird. Well, we'll only leave you a couple more minutes because I know it's late over there. But can I just ask, who do you think is going to win, and who do you want to win?
Jon and Stipe?
Yeah.
I would say I would edge towards Jon, of course, just because he's younger and he's a little bit fresher than Stipe. Like Stipe, let's be honest, we don't really know where he's at. He's definitely the best heavyweight of all time, but he's also like 42 years old, 43 years old. In last fight, he got knocked out, which was like 3 or 4 years ago now. We have no idea what he's going to look like. I have no idea. Whereas Jon, even though he's been pretty inactive, he has fought recently, and he looked pretty good in the fight. So I would give the edge to Jon, but it is heavyweight MMA. You absolutely never know, and that's why this sport is so damn exciting. So I would say probably 60-40 to Jon, yeah.
Did you see when he did that interview recently saying, this could be my last one? Do you think he's just messing around? He's just trying to rile you up, or do you believe him?
I have no idea. The guys are seems a little bit weird to me. I don't know.
Why do you think he's weird?
Because we're talking about Jon. Like, I think it's pretty obvious.
He wrote.
There's been some stuff that he's done over the years that isn't normal behavior.
I don't know what you're talking about, but he did write this on I think your Instagram. This dude literally has my large blank blank in his mouth every week talking about you. I'm flattered. I absolutely guarantee he will not win more world championships than me. That's truly all that matters at the end of the day. There's been many champions. No one like me. I sleep good at night. You saw this?
Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. I don't want to win as many championships as him. I just want to be the undisputed heavyweight champion of the world. That's all.
You don't want to break his record?
Don't care. I want to make as much money as I can in the shortest amount of time possible, and then bounce and do something else. I don't want to get out of this sport healthy. So once I've done what I want to do, I'll be done. I've got no interest in being the best heavyweight ever and fighting into my 40s. No interest at all in it.
Do you have a date or an age? Some say 35, 40, 38.
I don't know. I think you got to say how it's going and how you feel. Right now, I feel amazing. I feel on top of the world. I feel like the best heavyweight walking around on planet Earth, and that I'm head and shoulders skill-wise above anybody else in the division. Is how I honestly feel right now. So right now, I have no thoughts about stopping, but I don't know how I'm going to feel in the future. You can't say.
We had Francis at the top of the show, and I asked him, who's the best heavyweight in MMA right now? Probably not to your surprise, he said myself.
Mm-hmm.
I'd ask you the same question. I'd imagine you think yourself.
Yeah, but I have a lot of respect for Francis. I have a lot of respect for him, and I really appreciate his story. I really appreciate what he's done in the sport. But it's hard to debate right now. Like, the guy who's fighting, he's not elite. Do you know what I mean? And the guys he'll be fighting in the future aren't elite. And it's as simple as that. Like, these aren't the best guys in the world. Like, the guy who's fighting fought a friend of mine and a training partner of mine, Ante Delia, last year, and Ante just destroyed him within a minute or two. Took him down, ground and pounded him, and stopped him within the first minute. And now this guy's fighting Francis Ngannou. So the guy isn't elite, his opponent. Yeah, he's big. Yeah, he's powerful. Yeah, he can knock you out, but he's not an elite heavyweight. I'm not disrespecting him, but that's just the honest opinion.
Yeah.
The elite guys are not in PFL. The elite guys are in the UFC. So, like I said, I've got a lot of respect for Francis and his story and what he's done in the sport and what he did in boxing even. But it's difficult to say that he's the best heavyweight in the world when he isn't fighting elite guys right now.
Mm-hmm. No, I understand. He's not a top 10 guy. It's as simple as that right now.
The guy's nowhere near top 10, mate, who he's fighting. Yeah, he's a big dude, big athletic guy, but he's not a top 10 guy. Yeah, you're right.
What does your gut tell you as you gear up? You're going to do a full training camp, yeah? You're gonna pretend like you're. Do you think you fight on November 16th? It's not a crazy question, right? It didn't It was around this time, maybe in a couple of weeks. Like it was 2 weeks out, right? That Stipe was left with no opponent when Jon got hurt. So what is your gut telling you? Do you think you fight in New York in a month?
My gut's telling me no, to be honest. But that being said, I will be ready to fight. You ain't catching me not ready again, ever. We almost already had that banana skin when I fought Pavlovich because I wasn't ready for that fight. Now I'm in full-blown training camp. I got sparring partners here. I'm all ready to go. I'm ready to go. Like I'm fit, ready. I will be ready on November 16th if I need to be. Do I think it's going to happen? Is it likely? In my opinion, probably not. Anyone can say what they want, but I personally, my gut feeling is that it won't happen. But will I be ready? Absolutely. And will I fight if they need me to fight? On 5 minutes' notice, I will fight any of them guys.
Wow. And is it hard to prepare for two guys for a fight that you don't think is going to happen? Is that weird?
No, I'm training like it's going to happen.
Okay.
I'm not training like, oh, this is not going to happen. We'll just take it easy today or whatever. Like I said, I've got sparring partners here, flown in, high-level guys, ready to go. But like you say, I can't prepare for one guy, but I'm getting myself as fit and as strong as I possibly can within the next 5 weeks. And I've already done 4 or 5 weeks training as it is, hard training as well. I train every day anyway, but I mean, hard training twice a day, going at it, preparing my body and mind for the fight. I'm already doing that. So I'm prepared for a million fights at this point. I know what it takes to prepare for a fight. So no, it's not difficult, but tactically, would I like one guy to train for? Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, I would. It'd be silly not to, but I don't have that luxury right now.
Is that something like, does your dad sit down with you and say okay, today we're doing Stipe work, today we're doing, because they're two different people, right? Different fighters, different styles. Do you actually specifically game plan for them, or are you just kind of doing general training?
No, we just got to, I think that's really difficult to do that. My dad is sticking stuff in. My dad, by the way, obviously he's not got a whole massive stable of fighters, but the fighters he works with are absolutely elite, and the results speak for himself. He's one of the best MMA coaches out there.
Mm-hmm.
He might not have a massive team, but the guy is ridiculously smart when it comes to MMA. But yeah, we're adding stuff in that both guys are good at, and we're trying to prepare for it, obviously, but it's difficult when there's two guys. It's really difficult.
You will be coming to New York.
Yeah.
We would love to have you at the new studio. Would be nice.
Well, invite me in. What day are you still doing? Mondays and Wednesdays, or what days are you doing?
Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
Well, no way.
Could you believe that? We're working 3 days, plus the boys in the back. Your boy Connor and New York Rick, they have their own show on Thursdays, and you would never believe it, Tommy. The great Pete Carroll, who I do think is a favorite of your father's, if I'm being honest. He now has his show officially as part of our Uncrowned Empire on Fridays at 1 p.m. Eastern, 6 o'clock in the UK. Could you believe that? Every day we have a show now.
Let me tell you, Pete Carroll is the only media member that my father will ever speak to. Wow. I don't know why.
He loves him.
They love each other. It's fantastic. I love Pete Carroll also. So big shout out to Pete. I don't know, I might swerve your show and do Connors and New York Ricks instead.
Wow.
Never done that, so.
They would love that.
Now we're talking, Tommy.
They might appreciate me a bit more.
That's crazy. That is, it killed me. I woke up, I don't know how these European fans do it. I woke up, I was struggling more than you were out there, waking up in Paris at 5 in the morning to watch you fight. 6 in the morning because they're an hour ahead. It was awful. I don't know how fans do it. I have so much respect for the European fans, how they follow the sport each and every week. They're staying up till 5 in the morning watching these Apex cards, for goodness sakes. It's tough. It's not easy.
It's not. It's crazy guys. I ain't doing it.
It's awful.
I'm definitely not doing it. Fair play. If you are doing it, thank you for doing it. Thanks for supporting our sport, but I ain't that dedicated. I watch the big ones.
Well, you've got to get to bed, Tom. It's way too late for you. You've got training in the morning. It's a wonderful, wonderful way to end today's first ever episode with you, the real heavyweight champion of the Ultimate Fighting Championship. I say that. People get mad at me when I say it, but I believe it. You have more wins at heavyweight.
People get mad whatever you say. Don't worry about that. But
I don't even think it's a hot take, Tom. You have more wins against more quality opponents. I mean, it's like, it doesn't even make sense, but we're not going to... Everything will be rectified, I think, in very short order. And I appreciate you very much. I appreciate you buying the merch. I gave you the code, 100% off, but you wanted to do it, and that means a lot. And I will now... I love Dos Brock. I'm a huge fan of his, so I'm now going to get that one because that's great stuff. That's well done on your part. Is it a 50-50 split? What are we talking revenue-wise? You don't have to share. It's okay. Don't worry about it. I hope he's taking care of you, though.
He's taking care of me. We're all taking care of each other in this game. That's what it's all about.
That is what it's all about.
Oh, guess who just messaged me? Yeah, Pete Carroll.
What do you say?
I'm not telling you. That's between me and Pete, but he's a top man. I like you very much.
The cheeky. He's probably sitting in his chair right now. Pete, is Pete even there? He's right. Yeah. Look at this fucking guy. He's right.
What's going on?
He just... There he is. I told you. He's a part of the show now. He's now on the show.
My God. I didn't know he was like that. I didn't know he's actually
What's the crack, Tom?
online. He's ready to go. He's ready to talk. He's got a microphone and everything.
He's just ready. He's ready to go.
How are you, bud?
That is fantastic.
Can you hear him? He just said, "How are you?"
No, I didn't hear anything. Sorry.
PT, can you...
The audio's failing. I mean, can people not hear me now?
Got you, mate. I like the beard. Big
Do
fan.
you think so? Yeah, Ariel's been giving me a lot of shit about it, to be honest, Tom.
Oh, it's all right. Looks good.
It looks like he's...
Now, if it was bad, he'd go in. He would have went in bad there if it was going to be...
I think he looks fantastic. It looks like he just had a nice 48-hour bender. He looks great.
That's true as well. That is a fact. Both are real.
PT, any before we let Tom, any response to what he said about his father only talking to you and you being his favorite media member?
Well, he's my favorite as well. He's a fantastic guy. He's actually turning people away now, Tom, isn't he? I mean, there's lads trying to train with you guys, and he's having to say, I can't actually have you. He's zoning in more on you as far as I know, as more people look to join Team BFG.
So it's not called Team BFG for a start, but...
Team BFG, that's a great name, man.
The first bit of the statement was all right. I'm not sure about the last bit, but yeah. I mean, we've got a lot of big guys. We've got a lot of big guys in there already. We don't need any more.
Oh, well, this is amazing. Now PT's going to claim that Tom Aspinall was on the crack. This is not your interview, PT, okay? So stop hijacking.
We're just going to copy and paste the interview and then put me in instead of you, and then everyone will be happy.
Tom, you're a gent. You're a salt of the earth. Thank you so much for doing this. I appreciate you and looking forward to seeing you here in New York. Don't say goodbye so quickly. Jeez, it sounds like you look at those fingers.
You know, my wife's always saying that to me. She's always like, you know, when I'm on the phone and then people do that, bye thing.
Yeah, let it linger a little bit.
I literally just go, like, when the sentence is over, I'm just like, bye, boom, cut them off every time.
Just pretend like you had a good time. You know, you let it linger.
It's a lovely time, but we don't have to drag it on.
All right.
It's done. Cut it off.
Bye.
Bye.
Thanks for coming on my show, Tom.
There he is. Wow, that was incredible. That's a highlight right there. He mentions PT Carroll, and there's PT just showing up.
He summoned me.
You're some kind of piss, PT Carroll, I tell you that.